Hi, everybody. This is Shri, and welcome back to my channel, Vedic Living. Today, we'll continue the series on the ascendants or the lagnas. So today's lagna or ascendant that we are going to talk about is Taurus, Taurus lagna. Then this video will tell you a little bit about who you are and why your life has certain flavors compared to people around you. So we'll be talking a lot in detail about that. Before we go any further, let me remind you to visit my website, vedic-living.com, and make sure you pull up your chart using the free chart calculator to see if you're a Taurus ascendant. That way you know if this video applies to you or your family members. And another thing is, while you're there, do sign up for my free newsletter. The newsletter for April will be going out very soon, so make sure you sign up. Every month, I send out a free newsletter with a lot of information about the predictions for the upcoming months. So with that, let's move into what Taurus lagna or ascendant means. So as we know, the ascendant is the first house in Vedic astrology. It sets up the entire chart for the individual. Being a Taurus ascendant, what does it mean? Taurus is an earth sign. It is grounded. It's assured. It's very sure of itself. It knows what it wants to do. It's very stubborn sometimes because it is the bull. A lot of times you'll see Taurus people are very stubborn, but they are very driven and ambitious, materialistic to some extent, because Taurus is the natural second house. So they are very financial minded. They are good with money. A lot of times Taurus ascendant people make really good business people, business owners, and they may even have an aptitude for financial kind of jobs, financial advisors, stock traders, and those kind of things. They do have a materialistic side to them. So they are very much into making sure they have a good backup of resources, financial resources behind them. Because it's an earth sign, they're very grounded. They love the earth. I've seen a lot of times Taurus ascendants, they love gardening. They love things to do with the earth, like, planting things, growing things. The nakshatra Rohini falls in this particular sign. So they do love to be homekeepers. They like to have a beautiful home, and they love gardening. They love beautiful things because this sign of Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of creativity, beauty, and appreciation for beauty. So they love that. They love the finer aspects of life, the finer things in life. They may not like a huge boatload of cash. What they like is that one beautiful painting, which may be really expensive, but it is so beautiful. It has so much aesthetic to it. That's what they love. And they just appreciate the finer aspects of life, of beauty, of arts. They are great animal lovers. They love nature. They love food. Why? Because Taurus being the natural second house, it rules the food that you eat. So they have this appreciation for food and the finer aspects of food. They're just like foodies, A lot of times they can be creative with food too. They may show an interest towards becoming chefs or being really good in the kitchen. It calms them. It soothes them when they cook for others. And that's just a trait that you will always see in Taurus ascendants. They may sometimes, on the other extremes, may be excessive with food too. So you have to watch out for that. Like I said, it's the bull. In Taurus, the symbology of Taurus zodiac is the bull. So they can be very stubborn. But they love their home life. They love family. They are very sensitive, very caring and loving. They love that grounding because it's an earth sign. They need the feeling that they're grounded. It's very important to them. So that's why they love, being in a family and having that kind of support system around them. Mercury rules the second and the fifth house from Taurus. So, the way they make money is very mercurial, which means they could be really good with speech, like speaking, writing, expressing themselves. things to do with Mercury, which is like communications, internet, technologies. They're really good with that kind of stuff. And that's where they pretty much always make their money from. So Mercury ruling the 2nd and the 5th, very creative in mercurial ways. Taurus rising people have this really kind of a beautiful way of connecting to people around them through their words, through their speech. So that's beautiful that they have that. Moon rules the 3rd house from Taurus. So siblings are very important to them. Their siblings, one or more of their siblings may be very sensitive because the 3rd house is Cancer. It's ruled by Moon. Moon feels things very deeply. So Taurus ascendants are always a little emotional and sensitive towards their siblings. And on the other hand, one or more of their siblings could be emotional or sensitive. Sun rules the 4th house, so they may have a mother who's very strong and independent. 4th house is the mother, and Sun ruling it, it shows leadership quality, it shows strength. So their mother may be very strong and independent. And at the same time, their home front, 4th house is the home. It's where they are comfortable. It's their home base. Their home front will have something to do with that Sun energy of leadership qualities and making sure they raise children who are good leaders. That's definitely going to be the trend with Taurus ascendants. The 7th house from Taurus is Scorpio, ruled by Mars. This means they attract relationship partners who are very Martian in nature. What does that mean? Very active physically. They like people who are physically very active, maybe into sports, maybe into working out all the time. Mars is also to do with ambition, fieriness. So they are, Taurus ascendants attract relationship partners who are very fiery, very ambitious, very determined. That's the kind of people that they attract and that they get along with. Remember, when the 1st house, which is yourself, is a certain sign, the directly opposite house, the 7th house, is the exact opposite of that. So Taurus being ruled by Venus is all about beauty and creativity and, the softness. And, although it is an earth sign, but it is pretty soft. But then right across from there comes Scorpio with all its fieriness, with Mars and, the active side of things, the physical side of things. So, they're polar opposites. And that's why we attract a partner like that, because it's almost like that person completes the equation, So that's why Taurus ascendants usually attract partners who are pretty much, they embody the meaning of the planet Mars, They can be very quick with their temper. Their partners may be quick to lose their temper, but at the same time, they have a passion for life. They're very ambitious and driven. Now, Jupiter rules the 8th and the 11th house. So Jupiter, even though it is a benefic planet in Vedic astrology, for Taurus ascendants, Jupiter is not a great planet. So this is what we call a functional malefic, which means that ruling the 8th and the 11th house, that planet Jupiter becomes a challenge for these ascendant people. So wherever Jupiter goes in the chart can be tough for them. And a lot of times also, because that Jupiter rules the 8th and the 11th house, they may have difficulty connecting with children, because Jupiter is the natural karaka for children. So, their mind, Taurus ascendants, their mind is always kind of focused on material wealth and their job and their career and, the home front, the family. But with directly one-on-one with children, they may have a difficulty. But that's okay, because the partner will fulfill that role in some ways. But I have to say, Taurus ascendant people, they are very sensitive and grounded. So they do bring that kind of quality towards their children. And they do raise children who are very leadership kind of people. They raise good leaders because of that Sun ruling the 4th house. So that's a good thing. Now, Saturn, on the other hand, it's the opposite of what we talked about Jupiter. Saturn in Vedic astrology is typically considered a malefic. Although I have my own opinion about that. I consider Saturn to be a great planet because, the fact that it's a karmic planet, I believe that Saturn has to be strong in a person's chart for them to really achieve what they're here to do in this lifetime. However, Traditionally in Vedic astrology, Saturn or Shani is given a difficult place. However, for Taurus ascendant, Saturn is a functional benefic. Why? Because it rules from Taurus, if you count, it rules the 9th and the 10th houses. So that makes Saturn a yoga karaka planet, which means by itself, it produces a Raja Yoga. It rules a trine, which is the 9th house, and a Kendra, which is the 10th house. So it's a yoga karaka planet. So Saturn is an absolutely wonderful planet for a Taurus ascendant. Wherever it goes in the person's chart, that would be a very strong area for them. Also, the Taurus ascendants you'll see are very Saturnian in nature because of this, especially when it comes to their career, because Saturn rules their 10th house. They're very disciplined. They're very hardworking. They don't give up very easily. And they have kind of this tendency to be in one job for a long period of time, because Saturn ruling the 10th house brings longevity in career. So once they get comfortable in a certain career, they are, pretty much set there. They don't like changing it or shaking that boat or rocking that boat too much. So that's definitely one of the things with Taurus ascendants. And also because they have kind of that financial mindset, they know that staying in one job and growing in that job will bring them that stability. They're always looking for stability, right? So that's amazing that Saturn is so strong in their chart, but Jupiter is going to bring a little bit of an issue. So that's a Taurus ascendant, a Taurus lagna. Like I said, make sure you go to my website and look up your chart to see if you're a Taurus lagna. If you use my free chart calculator on my website, you will see where it says ASC, that's the ascendant. So check out if that's in Taurus. I'll come back next time with the next video in this series. Until then, thank you so much.